And with Storm Agnes making landfall across parts of the UK through this evening, I've got the very latest on this developing story.
So, Becky, when exactly is the storm expected to peak?
Pretty much now, actually. Between now and around 9 o'clock this evening, we are actually seeing the peak of the storm. Now, this is where Storm Agnes sits at the moment. The eye of the storm is directly over Northern Ireland, those tightly squeezed isobars indicating to those very strong winds gusting up to 75 miles an hour. I'm very happy not to be standing in that tonight. Now, as you saw earlier on, we have a wide-reaching areas, warning areas sitting across the UK for the wind and rain, and they're in force until tomorrow morning. But mercifully, Storm Agnes is going to zip through pretty quickly. But that's because we're sitting in a very powerful jet stream at the moment. Remember that a jet stream is a current of very fast moving air that sits around 30,000 feet up into the air and can have wind speeds of around 250 miles an hour. I always refer to it as a sort of conveyor belt for weather systems, and you can see very clearly the track that Agnes is now going to be following. And if we look ahead to tonight, you can see that the centre of the storm is going to be moving away northwards, taking away the worst of the wind and rain with it, although it remains a very blustery picture into tomorrow morning for many northern and western parts. But don't hold your breath, because as you can see, we do still have the next rain and wind-bearing weather systems waiting out to the west, so it does continue to be very unsettled indeed. Let's have a look at the detail. So as we have a look ahead to the next few days, it is going to remain typically autumnal, sunny spells and heavy showers. But thankfully, although some parts will still remain pretty blustery, generally speaking, it is going to be less windy. Now, if you are in the south or east of the UK through this evening and overnight, you'll be wondering what all the fuss is about. But just look at the extent of the impact that Storm Agnes is having overnight. These weather warnings for wind and for rain, though the smaller part is for rain, are going to be continuing in force until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning as that system pulls away, as we've just been seeing. But across the central and eastern areas, it's pretty much business as usual, a quiet sort of night, and those temperatures for everyone in the wind staying up into double figures. Now we look ahead to the start of Thursday, and as you can see, it is going to be an improved picture for many as that system moves away, but it doesn't last terribly long because, as you saw, we've got these systems moving in from the west, bringing with it a return of the wind and rain. Nothing like what we're seeing today, of course, but still, it's very unsettled, and again, it's affecting mostly those western areas, so very little respite for you further east. It's going to be a cooler day, a little cloudier as well, but generally speaking, as I say, business as usual, nothing much to write home about. Friday, though, Friday looks to be better. It looks to be a largely dry picture, although we've got this rash of showers sitting towards the north and into Northern Ireland as well. But elsewhere, it's largely dry. Temperature's not too bad. Plenty of sunshine. So it's definitely a really unsettled, very impactful picture at the moment. But the good news is Friday is looking better. And the start, I'm not going to say all of it, but the start of the weekend, that's looking pretty good.
That's good news for me. Becky, thank you.
No problem.